Alright, this is FooserX, and I'm going to talk a little bit about 3-bar series. So, just like the 5-row, we're going to try to use each shot to set up the next one. What we don't want is to treat each possession by itself and try to figure out their defense within the ball, within the shot clock, because we're gonna run across good goalies who are better than us at that particular point in time. They're going to have your number for whatever reason. They're going to get inside your head. And we don't want that because they're going to be showing us the traps and we're going to be taking them and getting bricks. So we always want to be in control of things, and we want to be the ones dictating, where the ball's going. So the first shot for this rollover series, and I'm not going to shoot a pull because it's an abortion for me. It's just awful. So I want to decide my strategy beforehand. Just like the 5-row, and I want to have a plan. What side am I going to shoot first? Let's just say my best side is my push side. My weak side is the pull side. So do I want to show them my best side first? That's one strategy. That's one way to go. I could hammer 3 or 4, just start cranking them. And, first impressions are everything in this game. So he's really going to pucker up, and then that's going to free up the rest of the goal for a while. That'd be good. And that's one way to go. But against somebody I've never seen before, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to give away my best shots. I'm going to shoot my weakest side first. So that way, when I need those points, I don't have to worry about trying to execute something I don't have as much confidence in. I should have confidence in everything, but it just doesn't work out like that sometimes. Or our three rows suck here and there. So I'm going to show him my weakest side first. So now we know what hole we want to shoot. That's huge. That's a tremendous advantage already, because we're already one step ahead of the defense because we know what we're looking at. And he doesn't. He's giving up D all over the goal. He's setting little traps everywhere, racing, trying to race and figure out our timing. We're not even looking at this. We're not even concerned. We're not trying to fall. We're not falling into anything that he's doing. We're not getting sucked into his mind. We're timing this hole over here. So that's all we're doing. So do we want to quick shoot it, or do we want to take it deep into the count? I don't want to quick shoot it, and I don't think that's a good idea because, a lot of people, they give up easy big holes for a second and then they take it away to start the match, and you don't want to fall into a really stupid bait right off the bat because people's best defense, they got really good defense for 6 or 7, and if you don't take those holes in the first 6 or 7 seconds, then they start to panic because they don't know when you're going or where. So we don't want to quick shoot. And when we take our time, it lets us get a feel for, what kind of motions. When's he switching? When he does switch, what's he giving up? When he does switch, how long does he stay switched? And is he even switching, or is he racing? It lets us figure stuff out. So maybe he never switches, in which case then, that's a completely different strategy we can go to. So we're going to take it deep into the count. And when I say deep into the count, I don't mean shoot a pull side at 13 seconds, because that's stupid. If they're over there at 13, 14, 15 seconds and they're not coming off it, we don't want to pull the trigger on that because that's a bad shot. But our focus is so, it's going to be all over there, so we don't want to be stuck and have to shoot something else or shoot into his guy. So instead of thinking in terms of shot clock, I like to think in terms of baits. Like, when is that baited hole open? Because he'll come off that hole and he's sort of baiting, like he's giving you that huge hole for you to take, and that's what I'm counting. How many times is he abandoning the post to go to the other spots? Maybe he's baiting it, or maybe he just flat out thinks that we're not looking at that anymore. So that's what I'm counting. How many times is he doing that? So let's just start it off. Like, he's giving defense and he comes off it 1, and then he's back there. And then he switches, but then he comes off again and he's over here. Well, that's 2. He's giving up that big pull side. And then he decides he wants to, get the pull side again. And then he comes over, 3. That's when we want to go. When he comes off, that's when we're going. And make this clear, we're not anticipating him coming off. We're not counting these little bobs. We're not anticipating anything. We're waiting for that full commitment to leave that hole open, and that's when we're going. All right? So that's our first shot. And I don't want to shoot because if I start missing them, then it's just going to look silly. So what the hell? All right, so picture it. 1, it opens up. 2 is the second time it opens up. 3. All right, so I made it. So now, for a second shot in the series, we're going to do a quick shot to the exact same hole. And we're not doing a quick shot within 1 or 2 seconds for to be quick. What we're doing is, the first time he shows us that hole, that's when we're going, all right? So he knows that he can give us slow D, and we're gonna be patient, because we didn't take those first couple baits, the first time we had it, he doesn't know when we're going. So when he comes off that very first time in the second possession, we're gonna take that shot, and it's gonna be there because he just doesn't know when we're going. So, and we're waiting for it. And the same thing, we're not anticipating the little quick bob. We're waiting for that full-fledged abandonment of that one hole, and it's coming off. So that's 2 shots that really, those are huge holes. We knew they were going to be big because we're taking our time, and we came in with a plan. We're not getting sucked into anything here. So that's huge. And the other part to this is we just hit our weak side twice, so right now, he's going to say, I can't give up the pull side anymore. So now, our best side's wide open. All right? So let's just say our third possession, we get it. And we turn it over. Not really. So our third time we get it, you would think he's really going to pucker up here, but he can't just stay completely here. He's still going to come off a little bit. So when he comes off, what we're going to do, and this is just part of the series, is you see my rock here, how my man is on the opposite side of the ball? Well, for good goalies, that's a universal tell that I'm going to get a little extra power, drag it, and I'm going to go to this side. So by rocking the ball on this side, it's showing the defender, I really want to go back to that same hole. So we'll let him think that. We're giving it away. We're going to do a little hitch, and we're going to drag the ball over, just enough, and they're going to collapse, If they're a good goalie, we've already hit some pull sides, they're going to collapse. And even if they don't collapse, they're certainly not going to go the other way. They're certainly not going to go to the push side, so we're going to fake and hit it right into their guy. So let's try that again. So we're going to fake the hitch, and pop the shot. So that's 3 shots right now, 3 easy points that we're in control of because we dictated that he has to stay over here and cheat the pull side. We changed up our timing, and then we did that little extra hitch just to reinforce that, hey, we're still going to go here. Psych, we're going push side. And not only did that hitch have the effect of freezing him, but it also makes him think his best side's his pull side, and he has to hitch the ball to go push. Awesome. That falls right into what we want them to think. So now, 4th possession. We'll just take that push whenever we want it, and it's going to be there. We could quick shoot it. We could take our time. I probably want to take our time at least 4 or 5 seconds into it, but we're going to make it smooth right off the rock, no hitch at all. They're not going to be ready for that because they're used to that monster hitch. So it really becomes just an ordinary read on your 3-bar. And just like all the other ones, because we know we want to hit that push side, our best side, we know we can do that at any time, we're not concerned with his defense. We don't care what he's doing because we're saying we're going to pop that the second time that gets huge. So when he's going to abandon it, and he's going to go out there and he's going to come in again, boom, that's when we're taking it. So again, that's huge that we're not getting sucked into his defense. We've been dictating. That's 4 points now, all right? So really, after that, it's open season. We could do whatever we want. And the game's almost over anyway. That's 4 easy goals, and we haven't even started with the middles yet. So, we could do a couple 3/4, whatever. So, we're well on our way to dominating this game, especially if we're getting, stops. All right, so next possession we get, after a couple middles or whatever. I also think it's important when you're setting up your rollover, every now and then, do a little hitch and stop. Every now and then, you don't have to, but I like to do that because it takes away any tells you might have on your rollover. And when you stop it, that defense, they might stop. They might say, hey, you know what? He's stopping, so I'm not going to give any real D. And then we just want to stop that. And so we don't want to do anything with it, just every now and then, stop it. And by the third game, after we've stopped this, dozens of times, we're getting the ball, we stop it, and we shoot it off a standstill rollover. And that's huge because it's the same shot, but it's slightly different. We're going to catch them off guard, push or pull, you should be able to go both ways. But because we have stopped the ball throughout the whole match, this is just like tossing the ball back and forth on the 5-bar. We've stopped the ball this whole time. Every now and then we're rocking, a little hard hitch, reading the D. The whole time we're reading the D. So we know when that sits still, when we can go, because they're just going to stop their defense and relax a little bit. So that's just another shot in the series that it's a high percentage shot. So, all right. So what is that, like 5 now? I mean, those are 5 easy goals that we've dictated. So now we'll set up our shot. And let's just do a front toe pin. I mean, we've taken our time every ball. And every time we set it up, we're looking at the defense. Every single time. Just like the toss on the roller, we're setting this ball up, and while we're setting it up, we're seeing what kind of pattern he's doing. And most of the time, people are giving this dummy D. They're just don't take an easy shot. But we can time this dummy D. They're certainly not giving us a real D. Most goalies, so the good ones are, but we're timing that front toe pin. So it's an option, but it's a high percentage play. It's an educated guess that we see that hole. We see these holes opening for our toe pin option. And they're definitely not ready for it. All they're ready for is that slow, patient roller we've been blasting them with. We've been taking our time. Every now and then we'll do a quick shot, but they're definitely not ready for the toe pin shot. All right, so that's just one more shot and one more option in our 3-bar series. So after that, you just want to go back to your normal roller. Just pound a couple. Maybe go back to that initial series I was talking about where you just start pounding 2 of your best sides and then hit one of your other sides. That's up to you to decide. So then, we should be dominating the 3-row by now. So, oh my gosh. So we're gonna do this option. We get the ball. We're gonna. It's like this double tap. They're not ready for that at all because we've set up our roller the exact same way every single time we brought it over, we tapped it over real slow. We've established to them that this is our setup. They don't have to be in serious defense mode until we get here. We even did that front toe pin, but we still did it from the pin position. So the second that ball gets some separation, they're done. They're relaxed. They're waiting for the ball to get set up. So they're certainly not thinking push kick to the long hole. So that's just one more shot in the series, and you guys can probably come up with a couple different options on your own. So that's basically what a 3-bar series is. You plan out that. Those were 4 or 5 points right in a row that we were able to get, and we don't even have to concern ourselves with what kind of defense they're giving us because we're counting the baits. We're counting that huge time, the abandonment, that huge time they leave that hole. That's what we're counting. And those, there's no getting around that. And if our shot's fast enough, they're not going to be able to beat it back. So that gives us the advantage. I think that covers it. All right, happy shooting.